Keep watching to see how I shot this video with only a... If you're anything like me, shooting with anything less than a DSLR makes you feel inadequate and a bit unqualified. But I get it. Professional cameras can be expensive and intimidating. So what's the remedy? That rectangular gadget in your pocket that you look at least 100 times a day. Nowadays, this basic setup is really all you need for simple video recording, vlogs, or tutorials until you get comfortable enough shooting or you save up enough money to upgrade to a higher end camera. When I first started freelancing back in 2011, I shot on a Panasonic camcorder for about 2 years. I took about a 4-year break, and in between that time, something changed. Camcorders were out and DSLRs had become mainstream. Now don't get me wrong, I could still get the job done with the old camera, but the cinema quality, sharpness, and depth of field and versatility that the DSLR brought to the table was unmatched. At this point, I had to rebuild my portfolio, but using the camcorder was out of the question, and I had no money to buy a DSLR. So I had to use the next best thing. You guessed it, my smartphone. If you want to shoot amazing, professional, and cinematic videos, all you really need is your smartphone, and I'm going to show you just how to do it. Now, before we begin, these are basic tips that anyone with a general understanding of video and editing software can use to create beautiful and meaningful videos. Tip number 1, time of day and setting. If you're shooting outside, you want to shoot at golden hour or when the sky is overcast. Golden hour is the time of day that's early in the morning before the sun is too high overhead, or late in the evening before the sun completely sets. The sun is a lot lower in the sky and the shadows are a lot more flattering on the subject's face or on the landscape, and they also give you those pretty blues and pinks and purples depending on where you live. Shoot on an overcast day or wait until some cloud cover shields the sun from your subject. The reason being, the clouds create a natural diffusion filter that you wouldn't ordinarily have at high noon. Tip number 2, shoot in the highest quality possible. Most cameras nowadays can shoot in 4K or at least 1080p, so utilize these high quality camera settings to get the best cinematic video and the cleanest looking footage. Tip number 3, focus on a subject. Highlight it from different angles and use shot composition to give your video variety and creativity. Tip number 4, movement and lots of it. Begin with a static shot to establish the subject, and then you want to use a number of moves like slides and pans and tilts to make your video that much more interesting. Tip number 5, slow motion. Most smartphones have a slow-mo option. Shooting at 120 frames per second gives you that natural buttery slow motion feel that you see in the movies. However, when shooting at 120 frames per second or in slow motion, remember to give your subject lots of light. Thank you, sir. Watch these videos for more helpful tips and tutorials. You're sure to love it and you're gonna learn a lot. Now guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, the only way to get better at this kind of thing is to practice, practice, practice. So use these tips to make your videos better from this point forward. Peace.